Hi everyone, welcome to English Express with Miss B. We have had a long vacation and Miss B have decided to start a new series which is related to silent letters. You know, silent letters is most at times confused by most English language speakers. That is why Miss B deemed it necessary to talk about silent letters. Like you can see on the board, we have silent letters. So what is a silent letter? A silent letter is a combination of sounds in an alphabet which is not pronounced. That, as the name implies, that is why it is silent. For example, the word silent is a silent letter because the letter T in it is not pronounced. And if you look at the board, we have types of silent letters. We have auxiliary and we have dummy. Now, what are auxiliary silent letters? Auxiliary silent letters are those letters that do not form a single sound. Okay, they are not separated. For example, we have like thing. When we talk about thing, okay, this is a combination of sounds. Okay, we have there, we have th. Okay, it's a single sound letter. We have sh, which is share. Now in linguistics, it can be done like this. This can be represented like this, and this can be represented as this, sh, and this can be represented as j, and this can be represented by So auxiliary sounds are very important in English language. So when speaking, when communicating with people, we need to make sure that we understand the use of silent letters. Those sounds which are silent, we are not supposed to pronounce them. As the name implies, they are muted, like I just explained. And we have two types of silent letters. We have auxiliaries and we have dummy sound silent letters. And in dummy silent letters, we can have innate or empty. When we talk about an innate silent letters, we talk about those letters that are not heard when they are pronounced. So you used to say the way it is done. Okay, as I was explaining, dummy letters are categorized into two. We have the empty letters and the innate letters. As the name implies, when we talk about the innate letters, those are sounds which are not heard when speaking or during pronunciation. They are dummy, while empty letters are those sounds which have little or no function in a word or in communication. Unlike auxiliary letters, which are very important because they give us more knowledge about the word or the sound, depending on where the sound appears. You know, at times these silent letters might appear in the initial position, at times in the medial position, and at times at the final position. Knowing that when these consonant sounds are followed by vowels, most of the times they become voice. So that is a secret. When we talk about silent letters, we have so many rules. Let us consider now these dummy letters. For example, we have the word resign. We have the word resign, and in this word, this letter G, this sound is dummy because we don't get the sound. We have malign. This is silent. We have malignant. This is silent. We have assignment. This is silent. We have sign. This is silent. We have design. This is silent. So these are all dummy sound letters. So when communicating or talking to people, you don't have to stress to make sure you pronounce this consonant sound because they are silent letters. And in English language, most consonants are followed by vowels. Any consonant that is followed by a vowel must be like this. Okay? Now let's talk about empty consonant sound. When we talk about empty consonant sound, they have no significant role in a sentence. They have no significant role. Like in English language, you know, we have so many types of words, and some words play important function. And when we talk about silent letters, we have so many rules. For example, when a word is followed by letter N, For example, okay, let's say when letter N follows letter K, okay, letter K automatically becomes, the sound K becomes silent. For example, no, ni, new, all these words are silent. Let me illustrate. Now let's say we have this new, no, knife, okay, knife, all this we have knee, all this letter K, the sound letter K is silent because it is followed by letter N. Knowledge, for example, we have knowledge, we have new, we have no, we have knife, we have knee. All these letters are silent because it is followed by letter N. We equally have words like let's say thought. When you have thought, this is silent. Okay, we have even listen, this is silent. Okay, we have castle, the letter T is silent. So today was just an introductory lesson related to silent word letters. The aim is to make sure that when we communicate, when we talk to people, we should be fluent and eloquent. Thank you. Stay tuned, like, subscribe and share. So as I was illustrating, I clearly explained that we have two types of silent letters. I spoke about the auxiliary letters and the dummy letters, and I went further to illustrate that in the dummy letters we have innate and empty, and the innate letters at times when we speak they are heard and at times they are not heard. For example, we have the word, let's say, resign. Okay, when we say resign, the letter G is not heard. But when we say resignation, okay, the letter G is heard. So that is how it is. Pronunciation and silent letters is somehow complicated and cumbersome. But once we have a mastery of the rules in English, it becomes easier for us to maneuver over these sounds in English language. I want us to consider the examples on the whiteboard and let's see how we can formulate our own rules. I want us to formulate our own rules. You know, English language is like mathematics whereby we have so many rules. Once we have these rules in place, it becomes easier for us to communicate. It becomes easier for us to dictate when we can use silent letters when their pronunciation is heard and when their pronunciation is not heard. For example, let's say if I say two, the word two, you know, it's not heard. We have whole. When I say whole or whole number, okay, the pronunciation W, the sound is not heard. So let's consider the examples above. Now let's say silent K. Our focus is silent K again. We're gonna begin with silent K, then we move to silent B. Now if you look at K, this is the initial position. It appears at the initial position, okay, and at this initial position we realize that N comes before K, and whenever you see the sound letter N before K, this becomes silent. That is the rule in English. You don't have to say cannot. No, we say not, need, knob, night, knuckle. Okay, so these are all silent letters and they appeared in the initial position. Now let's consider silent B. Okay, now we have B, this, we have lamb, thumb, nom, climb, thumb, and limb. Okay, so when this is the final position. So words can take many forms. In English language, sentences, sounds, words can take any forms based on the speaker. It can be at the initial position, or let's say beginning of a word, or at the middle, otherwise known as media, or at the end, otherwise known as the final position. Now, when you look at the board, the silent K appeared at the initial position, and now we have the silent B occurring at the final position. Okay, so when letter B is followed by letter M, it becomes silent. We don't have to say lamb. No, we say lamb, Tom, nom, climb, Tom, and limb. That is the rule in English language. For example, when we say leak, Vic. Okay, when we say leak, Vic, Gorge, the letter U is silent. Now let's consider the other example. Silent U. Okay, now we see that letter G appears, letter GD, in the initial position. So now, when do we know if it is silent or not? We have guess. Okay, we have guest. Some people used to confuse between guess and guest. This guest is like a visitor. This is like guess something. Okay, when you want somebody to predict or to anticipate something which have happened in the past, why this guess is like a visitor. We have guide. Okay, this letter U is silent. We have disguise, vague, and we have leak. You understand? So this vowel is silent, and it occurs at the media position. Middle. We call it middle or media position. So that is how it is in English language. When we communicate, let's just try to make sure we speak slowly, and let's make sure we pronounce the alphabet sound the way it is supposed to be. It's all about practice. Practice makes perfect. The more we practice, we perfect our skills and we become proficient. So this was just an introductory lesson of silent letters. As the days are unfolding, I will illustrate more. I will give more examples, for us to know when to use silent letters. And most of the times, for example, we have other words like pistol. We don't say pistol, we say pistol. We say listen, we say castle. That is how it is in English. So the sound or the letter T is silent. So thank you for your kind attention. Stay tuned for our next segment. Okay, I'm gonna give more examples, illustrate, and we're gonna use worksheet for more clarity. Please follow us on YouTube, follow us on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Thank you.